The Backyardigans is a Canadian-Euro-American CGI animated musical TV series created by Janice Burgess. It is a co-production of animation studio Nelvana and Nickelodeon Animation Studios. The series debuted on October 11, 2004 and ended on May 31, 2010. Reruns continue to air on the Nickelodeon family of channels in the United States until 2015. The show airs on Treehouse TV in Canada. In 2015, the first season was included as part of Nickelodeon's Noggin app, a mobile application featuring episodes of older Nick Jr. programs. Plot: the series follows a ritualistic pattern and centers around an assortment of neighboring playmates depicted as bipedal, anthropomorphic animals: Unica, Pablo, Tyrone, Austin, and Tasha. Designed to encourage imaginative play, the characters communicate with the viewers by constantly breaking the fourth wall, albeit the series rests particular focus on the role-playing games in which the friends participate, varying with each episode, and said games are visualized through dream sequences lasting for a majority of the episode and serving as the primary focus of that certain episode. Usually, the group will visualize a unique scenario, ranging from prehistoric times to adventurous fantasies, and they are often presented with multiple dilemmas along the way to accomplishing a certain goal or priority, or may be challenged with a major single obstacle to defeat or problem to solve. The program also follows a musical format, featuring multiple musical numbers sung throughout the course of an episode regarding whatever imaginary predicament in which the characters have situated themselves or perhaps a challenge that they have met, every episode opening and concluding with a particular song. When the Backyardigans have achieved their mission or defeated any disadvantages, the fantasy sequence fades, restoring actuality to the setting of the episodes as the closing song is sung, the characters scurrying to their houses for a snack. The main character or characters then opens the door to the Backyardigans' house or fence and shouts the main catchphrase for the final time and then closes the door. The picture then is lifeless with some background bird noises often heard as Iris closes, ending the episode. Characters: each of the 5 characters on the show have 2 voice actors, one for speaking, and the other for singing. In the English version, all the voice actors and singers are actual children. The dancing on the show is first performed by live-action dancers, and their movements are later transported to animation. Choreographer, Beth Bogash, describes the process: "What we do is we film the live footage in the studio, send that off and they do a lirka, and then they send it to the animators. The animators watch, and we're pretty precise. What we film for that day is pretty close to what you see in the character." Main characters equals Unica, a curious, self-confident and high-spirited pink character. The series uses the name Unica for both the character and her species. She wears pink polka-dotted overalls and has a pair of swirled antennae on top of her head. Unica is sweet and friendly, though her strong opinions and occasional stubbornness get in the way of her relationships. While imagining herself having the roles that require brains and fortitude, and despite her love of books, she is more tomboyish than her friend, Tasha. Creator Janice Burgess describes Unica as the child she wishes she was like as a child. Speaking voice: LaShawn Tina H. Jeffries. Singing voice: Jamie Simone Nash and Avian Baker. Dancer: Hattie Mae Williams. Pablo is a yellow-beaked blue penguin who wears a blue bow tie and a blue and yellow propeller beanie. Pablo tends to be the most excitable of the group and is best friends with Tyrone. Due to his energy and impetuousness, he often goes into a panic attack when he faces an obstacle, running around in circles and telling everyone not to worry until someone interrupts him. The number of panic attacks decreased considerably after the first season, though in the episode The Flipper. His propensity for getting overexcited is a major plot point. Pablo is absent for one episode, Chicken is a Pizza. Speaking voice: Zach Tyler Eisen and Jake Goldberg. Singing voice: Sean Curley. Dancer: Tasha Cooper and Stephen Konopolsky. Tyrone is a good-natured, yet somewhat fearful, red-haired orange moose who wears a red and blue striped shirt. He is almost the complete opposite of his best friend Pablo in terms of personality, despite his laid-back and cool-headed character and being known for his ironic comments. one of them being that certainly was convenient. At the end of most episodes, he remarks, "That was an excellent adventure, don't you think?" Despite not appearing to wear trousers, Tyrone somehow manages to put his hands in his pockets. Speaking voice, Reginald Davis, Jr., Jordan Coleman and Christopher Grant. Singing voice, Corwin C. Tuggles, Leon G. Thomas III, Damani Roberts and Tal Jackson Williams. Dancer, Greg Shiner Corey. Tasha, a strong-willed yellow hippopotamus, Tasha wears an orange flowered dress and red shoes. She's a sweet girl on the outside, but is more rational and likes to get her own way. She's the most serious of the major characters, although Tasha can be just as easygoing from time to time. From the second season onward, she has a more amiable personality, as well as a more muscular appearance than the other characters. She tends to be grumpy if not the boss. Her catchphrase is "Oh, for goodness sakes." Speaking voice, Natalie Ray and Gianna Brutzess. Singing voice, Christine Mitchell and Gabrielle Malk. Dancer, Darlene Durstein and Amanda Ulibarri. Austin is a shy but fun-loving purple kangaroo. Though generally soft-spoken in the first season, due to recently moving in the neighborhood, Austin starts to come out of his shell as the series progresses. He is revealed to be smart and imaginative. Austin rarely appears in the spotlight, but takes the role of the lead character in several episodes. Says Bogash, Austin's usually the one pulling up the rear. He's kind of a get-along guy. Austin has been shown to occasionally display a more villainous side, such as in the episodes High Tea, and The Magic Skateboard. Speaking voice, Jonah Bobo. Singing voice, Thomas Sharkey and Nicholas Barash. Dancer, Kristen Frost. Recurring characters Sherman, a small, orange-spotted yellow worm. Sherman is easily scared due to his small size. He plays a role in 3 episodes throughout the series, The Heart of the Jungle, Polka Palace Party, and Attack of the 50-Foot Worman. His voice is provided by Oliver Wyman. Wormans, a fictional species of colorful, worm-like creatures who speak in squeaks and gibberish. They appear in every season of the series. Dragon, a friendly, green-colored dragon who appears in 3 episodes of the series. He hatched from a spotted egg and resides in Dragon Mountain. His voice is provided by Oliver Wyman. Aliens, green-colored aliens appear in 4 episodes of the series, Mission to Mars, Newsflash, Los Galacticos, and The Big Dipper Diner. Giant clam, a clam appearing in both The Legend of the Volcano Sisters, and The Great Dolphin Race. It pants and acts like a dog. Voices included in the episode's Secret Mission, and It's Great to Be a Ghost. That do not come from any shown character. Robot Roscoe, a robot owned by Austin who appears in 3 episodes from the 4th season. His voice, as well as the other male robots, is provided by Evan Matthew Weinstein. Setting, the characters live in houses adjoining a large backyard common to the 3 central houses that is transformed by imagination into various adventure settings. Each house roughly corresponds to the color scheme of the character, Unica in a pink house, Pablo lives in a blue one, and Tyrone in an orange one. Tasha's house, which is to the left of the 3 central houses, is yellow and Austin's, to the right, is partially obscured by a fence but what is visible is purple. The fence, which surrounds the combined properties of the 3 main characters, has a gate in it which leads to Austin's house. The curve of the cul-de-sac allows the play area to be roughly equal in distance from each house's back door. Not everything that appears in the imaginary world has a real-world counterpart. Often trees, boulders, brickwork, or similar objects appear where nothing originally existed. By the same token, even large trees in the real garden disappear completely when the imagination part of the story commences. Episodes: 80 episodes of The Backyardigans were broadcast. Production: the series was based upon a live-action pilot titled Me and My Friends, produced at Nickelodeon Studios in September 1998. This pilot was rejected by Nickelodeon, and the concept was reworked into an animated short in 2002. This pilot was greenlit by Nickelodeon to become a full-length series. Dave Palmer began directing the show in the middle of Season 1, and directed all subsequent episodes. Evan Lurie and Douglas Wisselman composed the music for the show with lyrics by McPaul Smith. The characters were designed by children's author and illustrator Dan Yacarino. A second season had been announced on April 30, 2006 by Nelvana and Nickelodeon. The third season was first released in the United States in January 2008. A fourth season was produced in 2009, and aired in 2010. Production was wrapped up in late 2009. Live shows. Several The Backyardigans theatrical performances have toured Canada and the United States. In Canada, 3 different performances have toured: Musical Playdate, Quest for the Extraordinary Aliens, and Sea Deep in Adventure. The Musical Playdate performance had been promoted as VIP appearance, and Backyardigans mini-performance in earlier advertisements. All 3 tours were presented by Paquin Entertainment Group and produced by Cobble Entertainment, both based in Winnipeg. In the United States, 2 theatrical performances toured, 2008's Tale of the Mighty Knights, and 2010's Storytime Live. Video releases. DVD releases. In the United States, 22 DVDs featuring 4 episodes each were released from August 2005 until March 2011. VHS releases. 5 videotapes featuring 2 episodes each were released in 2005 and 2006. The titles were the same as the first 5 American DVDs. iTunes releases. All 4 seasons have been released on iTunes in Canada and the US. However, the US iTunes Store is missing 3 episodes from the first season: Secret Mission, It's Great to Be a Ghost, and The Tea Party. CD releases. There were 4 The Backyardigans albums released in North America, and 1 album released in Europe. Each has approximately 20 tracks, while Born to Play has 4 bonus tracks only available on the iTunes Store. The Adventures Begin. Released September 2004, this CD promoted the series' debut. Because this was a promotional album sent via mail, it was not sold in stores. It contains 4 tracks from the first season, including the opening theme. The songs would later be included in the next album. The Backyardigans theme song, Yeti Stomp, Secret Agent, Please and Thank You. The Backyardigans released on July 12, 2005, under Nick Records label. This is the first album sold in stores. It contains 19 tracks from the first season, including the opening theme. The Backyardigans theme song, You and Me to the Rescue, Castaways, Questing, A Pirate Says Ah, Yeti Stomp. Queens Are Never Wrong, Those Bones, Buffalo Girls and Boys, Trudge, Secret Agent, Laser Limbo Tango, Row Your Boat, Into the Thick of It. P.U. Flying Rock Song, When I'm Booing, Please and Thank You, Rockabilly Lullaby. Groove to the Music. This second CD was released on July 11, 2006, under Nick Records label. It contains 18 tracks from seasons 1 and 2. Target sold an exclusive release including Astronauts Never Give Up, totaling 19 tracks. Hold On Tight, Gotta Get the Job Done, Shake Your Body, Radial Moves, We're Going to Mars, Drumming Song, Eureka. The Rules, Tree to Tree, What's So Scary About That? The Ballad of the Brave Pink Knight, I Love Being a Princess, Aha. Skate Ahead, We'll Get You What You Want, Ski Patrol to the Rescue, Superheroes vs. Supervillains, Oh, My Sherman, Astronauts Never Give Up. Born to Play. The third and final The Backyardigans CD, it was released on January 22, 2008, under Sony BMG's label. It contains songs from seasons 1 to 2, as well as all the songs from Tale of the Mighty Knights. There is a total of 22 tracks. There's also a special iTunes version of this album, containing 4 bonus tracks in addition to the 22 tracks, totaling 26 tracks. This album was released in a cardboard fold-out case, rather than a jewel case like the previous 2 releases. Borders carried the jewel case release exclusively, which included a booklet. This booklet was also included on the iTunes release as a file with purchase of a digital download. Ready for anything, we love a lull, tuba polka, I feel good, go, 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 the customer is always right, surfs up, ho daddy, almost everything is boinga, nothing too tough, WIO I'm a Mountie, racing day, I never fail to deliver the mail, lady in pink, nobody's bigger than a giant, hurry home, a challenge, Dragon Mountain, Goblin, not an egg, Tweedledee D, we knights, bonus iTunes tracks, 23. Betcha I Can, 24. Phantom Footsteps, 25. Do It Myself, 26. The Call of the Mermaid. Join in the Adventures. Released in 2006, as part of a series launch tour in the United Kingdom. The album is near identical to the American-released counterpart, with Please and Thank You replaced with Questing. The Backyardigans theme song, Yeti Stomp, Secret Agent, Questing. Merchandise. Activision released to the Backyardigans PC game, Mission to Mars, in October 2006. In addition, there are interactive Backyardigans games available for the LeapPad and Tex v Smile consoles. There is also a Leapfrog Click Start game titled Number Pi Samurai, teaching children basic computer skills. From 2005 to 2007, Kohl's had a section devoted to the series merchandise, including a clothing line and toys exclusively in-store. Over 100 storybooks were released throughout the series run. Most of these were released in both Canada and the United States. However, a 2006 series of educational books were exclusively sold in Canada under the license of Treehouse TV. Fisher-Price produced numerous plush toys and interactive character toys. All merchandise produced by Fisher-Price has been discontinued as of 2009. There are also Beanie Babies of all the main characters available. References. External links, official site, Nirvana production page, Backyardigans on Guru Studios, The Backyardigans Live. On stage touring website, Backyardigans on Nick Jr. Australia, Backyardigans on Nick Jr. Canada, Backyardigans on Treehouse, The Backyardigans at the Internet Movie Database, The Backyardigans at TV.com.